You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
I feel like Charlie at the moment is just whenever we say yes, we're about to record and I press record, something always happens. Whether he's yawning, whether he's stretching, I just feel like we're just out of sync. And it's also weird because I think we're so used for the last year going live 24/7. I'm used to like reading out the chat and all that kind of stuff. And at the moment, due to stuff coming up, we haven't been going live as much, but we'll get back to that in the next few weeks. Before I introduce the host of the show, if you haven't already, go back and check out a lot of few episodes. Our interview with draft prospects, Champ, aka, and I'm going to butcher his last name because I just can't do it. I can't roll the R's, but Carlos Robalo and Julius Wilkerson. Go and check out their interviews with us. Only a few weeks now until the draft. Go show them some love. Let them know that we sent you. And yeah, Charlie Touche, how are you?
Yeah, I didn't know you hit the record button. I would have been
I
a little
literally
bit
said
more.
that. Put the record, but it's cool.
I would have been a little more professional. Yeah, man, it's different. You know, we recorded episode, didn't go live today, but y'all know what time it is. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond but across the world. I'm your boy Charlie Touche. I got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. Kadeem, I'm kind of like just now getting my day started, waking up. I work night shift. I still got the low-key baritone voice right now, so I feel like a little radio dude right now. Like, yo, we on Go Time Dolphins, the Jazz Network.
It's
uh,
it's annoying because obviously it's Easter. I think previously we were like 4 to 5 hours difference, but I think now we've gone up to like 5 to 6. Like our clocks have finally changed. So yeah, these when we do go live, like with the drafts and stuff like that, UK is going to be 1 till 5. It's good, like the whole day is gone. But listen, we are essentially 3 weeks away from the draft, 1st of April. And this is where teams really start to kind of like dial in. You're making not last minute changes to your draft board, but kind of you got your 30 visits, we start to dial in terms of like what kind of path you want to go down in terms of, if this happens, we're going to do this. If that happens, we're going to do that, all that kind of stuff. I know there is some Dolphin stuff to talk about, but there was a bit of draft talk I wanted to discuss. So, Charlie, do you remember he's come up a few times on this podcast, the center from Oregon, Jackson Powers Johnson?
Harris Johnson? I thought it was Michael Johnson.
No, Jackson Powers Johnson.
I knew he had a hyphenated name, but I didn't know that was it. Yeah, I remember him.
So he has been for the last month or so the de facto pick at 21 for a lot of Dolphins fans. Like you have to draft this guy from Oregon. Have to. Even when the Dolphins brought in Aaron Brewer from the Titans, it was like it doesn't change anything. Had to be Jackson Power Johnson. He's the picked best center in the draft, all that kind of stuff. A few days ago, a report comes out which basically says that the it's rumored, according to sources, all that kind of stuff, that the NFL isn't as high on Jackson Power Johnson as like a few draft people are. And do not be surprised if he goes, essentially, if he falls out of the first round and he's like a day two, second round, third round pick. I know you probably haven't delved into his tape yet, if you're even going to delve into it at all, but just on the news that a highly rated player by Dolphin Twitter seems to be falling down the draft. What do you make of that kind of phenomenon, if that makes sense?
So Touche's 24 is nearly completed. But even when it's nearly completed, people can still make the list and people can still fall off the list. And next week is actually the week I go in. It's draft season and I'm going all the way in, all the way in. With what you just said, it's always like that. The fans and the consensus have a different perspective than the NFL teams or opinion than the NFL teams do on certain players. So everyone might be high on Reuben Foster, and then next thing you know, Reuben Foster falls. There was another prospect that came out in 2020. He was a tackle, projected to go first round. Go ahead.
I had a phone call with 5 Yard Lee talking about this whole situation, and if me and Charlie we do this quite often, like me and Charlie don't speak off air, if that makes sense. But I think I brought up the exact same example. Josh Jones to tackle.
Josh
Is that
Jones.
Josh
Yep.
Jones? So I said the exact same thing. For a good few months, every single mock draft had the Dolphins taking Tua at 5, Josh Jones at 18, and DeAndre Swift at 26. It was like Josh Jones first round pick, Josh Jones first round pick, over and over again. I remember draft night, obviously, it's Tua number 5. Cool. Pick 18 is coming. I'm like, it's going to be Josh Jones. It's all we've heard all off season. Josh Jones, Josh Jones, Josh Jones. We go friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson. Do you remember what round Josh Jones went and where he went?
All right. Off the top of my head, I want to say 6th round to Arizona. And then I feel like 6th round was too far. So I'm dialing it back. Arizona's the team. I think he went to Arizona. And if it wasn't the 6th round, I would say 4th round. If it wasn't the 4th round, it was the 3rd round. But I do know it was not the 1st or 2nd round. What we got?
Josh Jones went pick 72, 3rd round by the Arizona Cardinals. Spent 2 years in Arizona. Went in 2023, was traded for a 7th round pick to the Texans. And then on March 21st, 2024, he signed with the Ravens. Josh Jones has played 60 games, started 24, but this was someone who was seen as a de facto first round pick 100%. And I don't say nosedives, but 3rd round pick to the Cardinals. And this isn't even a Cardinals team, which is,
I will say this. I will say this about the Cardinals. Just because somebody doesn't work out in Arizona does not mean it's indicative of the Cardinals being a successful franchise. No one goes to Arizona and succeeds if you're a linebacker. If you look at Hassan Reddick, my dog, blossomed after he left Arizona. If you look at Isaiah Simmons, somebody we liked on this podcast, he left Arizona, and I imagine we're probably gonna hear a little bit more from him. Everybody knew, like, yo, this is the Swiss Army knife. Isaiah Simmons, he could do everything. He could play linebacker, corner, safety, DN. You know what I'm saying? And then Arizona didn't know how to use him. So just because Jones went to Arizona doesn't mean and didn't work out there doesn't mean that it's on him. But at the same time, we're talking about the draft. People rise up the board, people fall down the board. And then the NFL again has a different opinion on some of these people.
Yeah, again, it's so telling that we had the exact same example in terms of someone who was and again, there's so many players who you think is going to go in the 1st round, they don't go, all that kind of stuff. But then again, during mine and 5 Yard Lee's conversation, we were kind of talking about centers in general and how many teams take a center in the 1st round and all that kind of stuff. And it got me thinking. I was like, in the last 10 years, dating back to 2014, how many centers actually go in the 1st round? So I made a little list and I'll quickly go through it. 2014, 0 centers in the 1st round. The first center off the board goes to pick 43, Whiston Richburg to the Giants. Year 2015, sorry. 1 center goes, and that is Cameron Irvin, plays drafted by the Browns, which was weird because at the time they had Alex Mack, and Alex Mack like he was the de facto starter. So Irving plays guard. In 2016, there's one, Ryan Kelly, pick 18, still with the Colts. 2017, 0. The first center went in at pick 58, round 2. 2018, there were 2 centers picked and they went back to back. Frank Ragnar with the Lions, who's still there, pick 21. Billy Price, who went to the Bengals. 2019, Garrett Bradbury, pick 18. 2020, Cesar Ruiz, who went to the Saints. And to this day, I still think he was the pick for the Dolphins, but he went to the Saints, played guard. 2021, there was 0 centers picked in the first round. Landon Dickerson was the first. He went pick 37, and he plays guard for the Eagles. In 2022, there was Tyler Linderbaum. He was pick 25. He went to the Ravens, played 17 games. And last year, there was 0 centers in the first round. The first center that went off the board was Joe Tippmann, and he went to the East Fed Paper Plains. Centers don't often get picked in the first round, and I don't think it's a center issue. It's just that I just don't think teams value center as high as fans do. Do you think those stats of the past 10 years kind of bear it out? And also, did you really think the Dolphins were going to draft a center at pick 21?
All right, so there's a lot to unravel in what you just asked. No, that's all right. That's all right. So I do believe if you're a good enough center, you're going to go first round. I believe Cushenberry could have went first round in 21. I think he came out in 2021, went to Denver, I think. Landon Dickerson, solid. I think if you're good enough, you go first round. Cesar Ruiz, I thought he was going to be the Dolphins pick as well. All right, here's my thing. If you're good enough to be a center, you're going to go in the first round. And I think the teams don't pick center first round if you're not good enough, because they feel like this position is so important that we're not just going to take a player and insert player here in the first round. We're going to have to get what fits us the best. And I think people are more smart about center. And if it's a lock, then it's a lock. If it's not a lock, why spend a first round pick on something that's not a lock? Because first round picks, often said on this podcast, have to be starters. So don't reach on center. It sounds like what I'm saying. Do the Dolphins go center in the first round? No, I don't think the Dolphins go center in the first round. I'm not sure that there is a center good enough to go at 21 for the Dolphins. Again, not reaching. Did you just lose me, Kadeem?
No, it's my ear.
No, because I just heard my AirPod go out, but I think it's my AirPod case that just went. Hold on 1 second.
I can still hear you. All good. No worries.
So something just went out. I don't know what it was, but so do the Dolphins go center in the first round? I don't think they do. I think there's better receivers there. I think there's better tackles for sure. Tackles so deep in this draft, and then I think there's better almost linebackers and DNs there that are better than center. Yes, we have a need for center, but then that's okay. Well, now we need to talk about trading up the second round pick to come up for a center, like we did for Eichenberg, but this time hit on it. So I don't see the Dolphins going center first round. Here's the thing about this draft, though, Kadeem. You have, in my opinion, 4 quarterbacks getting drafted in the first round. If the first 4 picks of the draft are quarterbacks, which is a stretch, but not unlikely because people overdraft and reach for quarterbacks, the first pick of the draft comes at number 5. So all of a sudden, everybody gets bumped down this draft board. Bro, there's a chance. And at the Dolphins picking 21, I didn't think we'll be this high on I didn't think we'll have a 21st pick. I thought we'll be in the 30s, if I'm being honest with you. Late 20s, if I'm being honest with you. There's a chance that Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia, falls into the radius of where someone can and just snipe this dude. So Brock Bowers starts falling, Kadeem, and I know we're on center, but if Brock Bowers starts falling and we get to like the teens with Brock Bowers, Brock Bowers still on the board and it's 14th pick. I'm gonna start looking like Mike McDaniel when in that first draft when he came to the Dolphins and he fell out of his chair when his running back got picked. That's what I'm gonna start looking like when Brock Bowers starts to fall. I'm like, yo, Brock Bowers, the tight end that everybody thought the Dolphins wanted, the Mike McDaniel type of tight end, he's there for us. So people are gonna fall in this draft, and then when you have a deep class of all these tackles, you're gonna find starting tackles in the second round. And all these receivers. So here's my thing. If you're deep on receivers and deep on tackles in this draft, do I'm hoping we double dip, tackle, but you have flexibility in the first round to do some things and then come back up in the second round to get a tackle. That's how deep this draft is for a tackle. So I 1,000,000% believe the Dolphins are going to tackle with their first or their second round pick.
I was on a podcast, I don't think it was last week or the week before, and we were talking about Dolphins free agency, and I put the link in the podcast in the YouTube description. And just at the end of the podcast, he was like, I think if he's there, the Dolphins are going to take Brock Bowers at 21. And I was just like, the Dolphins are not taking tight end at pick 21. Like, it's not going to happen. Now, from what you just said, you not only think that the Dolphins would do it, but you would be an advocate for the Dolphins taking tight end at pick 21. If you are a patron member, you will see me and Charlie have a quite intense back and forth about position the Dolphins are going to go and pick 21 and pick 55 and blah, blah. Tight end didn't come into that conversation. And I take it out because you just didn't think Brock Bowers would be there. Why would you be not why would you? Would you be an advocate for going tight end at pick 21, given the holes or the other areas of need the Dolphins have on the roster?
So you're right. I did not think Brock Bowers would be there at 21. That's why we didn't argue about a tight end on Patreon at 21. But not only am I an advocate, Kadeem, of taking Brock Bowers at 21 if he's there, tight end Brock Bowers at 21, I say go get him before he even gets to 21. If he gets to like 17, yes, Kadeem. If dude gets to like let me land the plane. If he gets to like 17, 18, 16, bro, my heart's gonna start beating kind of fast, bro. Like, yo, what are we doing here? So yes, I say go get him. And all right, let's just say hypothetically for this conversation, he falls to 21. The reason why I'm taking Brock Bowers, Kadeem, is because you said we have needs. What are some of the needs, Kadeem? Can you just off the top of your head real quick and let me get back to it? What are some of the Dolphins' needs?
Interior offensive line, interior defensive line. I would argue safety, and I would also argue defensive end.
All right, we disagree. I don't think interior defensive line is a need. I don't think I don't think interior defensive line is. We lost Raekwon Davis and Christian Wilkins. We have Zach Sealer. We could replace Raekwon Davis. We actually, bro, I don't believe.
No. Continue.
We got Benito. We got what's his name? Benito Jones.
Benito Jones.
Yeah, like that is the perfect. Like he's gonna do what Raekwon Davis did. It's the same exact role. Raekwon Davis has been replaced.
But you haven't replaced Christian Wilkins,
right? What you mean, Zach Sealer?
No, because Zach Sealer was here last year.
No, but he didn't start though.
Zach Sealer did start last year.
All right, that's fair. All right. How many? You know what? How many snaps did Zach Sealer and Christian Wilkins have? That's a stat check we need to go through. Hold up, but before you stat check and I lose your attention, let me get back to why I'm going tight end at 21. So here's the thing. You said we have these needs here. I don't think we have a need at safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, so here's my thing. We have a need as a third pass catcher. A third pass catcher is an actual need. So whether it's OBJ coming in playing playing as a third receiver, or the Dolphins getting a third receiver, Michael Thomas, or the Dolphins for the people on Twitter who I'm not behind talking about Jarvis Landry as if we could go back 10 years and get a 10-year-old Jarvis Landry, or people who are proponents of drafting a receiver in the first round. At the end of the day, we need a third option at receiver. Brock Bowers will be the third option. Durham Smythe had like 37 receptions or something like that, 38 receptions. It was something wild as a third option in the Dolphins offense. Tyreek Hill was hurt. Waddle was hurt. Brock Bowers is a third option that's going to be viable off the jump. So
fourth option.
All right. So anyway, I believe
Johnny Smith. We did pick up Johnny Smith.
Nah, and he's gonna beat out Jonnu Smith, bro. Brock Bowers will beat out Jonnu Smith. Like having Jonnu Smith is the same thing as, oh, I didn't know we was gonna get Tyreek Hill. So yeah, you got Cedric Wilson, but then Tyreek Hill came. Sorry, Cedric Wilson. So yeah, you got Jonnu Smith, but then you got Brock Bowers. Sorry, Jonnu Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how the nature of the business, in my opinion. So yeah, we do have a need in places, but we also have a need at the third option at pass catcher, and that's why I'm going Brock Bowers if he gets remotely close to the Dolphins.
So I haven't found his snaps yet, but Zach Sealer last year started and played 17 games for the Dolphins, and because I'm not signed into PFF right now, it's not telling me how many snaps he played. But let me quickly check PFF on this computer, because obviously I have multiple computers running and I'm logged into different stuff on different. Am I logged into? No, I'm not logged into PFF on my laptop either. But yeah, the Dolphin. Christian Wilkins isn't the Zach. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Christian Wilkins isn't the Zach Sealer replacement, given that Zach Sealer started and played 17 games last year for the Dolphins. Like,
I disagree, because I think if they both started, like you said.
So Zach Sealer played 320, over 800 snaps for the Dolphins last year.
How many did Christian Wilkins play?
Christian Wilkins played. As I'm booting up PFF, over 800 snaps. They both legitimately played over 800 snaps.
All right, so cool. They both started. Here's my thing. I don't think we need a replacement for Christian Wilkins. We need a replacement for Zach Sealer. So Zach Sealer replaces Christian Wilkins, and now we need a replacement for Zach Sealer. That's my opinion.
And but even then, you still need to replace a starting defensive tackle.
I agree. You're right about that. You're right about that. But I don't think it's a glaring need the way you made it out to be, bro. I don't think it's like the D line is banged up. The D line is only banged up because two of our starting ends are hurt. That's the only reason it's banged up, not because Christian Wilkins isn't there, and two of our starting D linemen are hurt.
And that's totally true, but you still need to replace over 800 snaps last year, be it Christian Wilkins or Zach Sealer, whichever one is being replaced. Not to mention the snaps that Raekwon Davis played. Yes, you picked up. Let me finish. Let me land the plane. So yes, you've added Neville Gallimore, if that's the player's name. Genuinely apologize if not. And you've added Benito Jones, and the chances are the Dolphins will find someone at some point to get those snaps and stuff like that. The Dolphins, what's the best way to put this? In my opinion, to say that interior defensive line isn't a need, I would heavily argue against, just given how the first pick of the Chris Greer in charge era was defensive tackle. That was Christian Wilkins. And
I see how you skew my words, bro. You said glaring need first, and I repeated what you said. Now you dialed it back to just a need. You know what I'm saying? Like
I said it's a glaring need, and you disagree that was a glaring need.
I don't think it's a glaring need.
So that's why.
But so what's the difference between a need and a glaring need? I need to hear this.
In terms of just the draft, to me, defensive tackle comes first and second round, it's a glaring need. I'm not leaving defensive tackle to day 3 because, like, that's to me that's depth. So
let me ask you this, Kadeem.
Yep.
Just for you, not football 101, not Chris Greer, not the Miami Dolphins. What do you think is a bigger need for the Miami Dolphins? Just Kadeem, what do you think the bigger need for the Miami Dolphins is? Defensive line or third option at receiver? Interior defensive line, my bad.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Other option. Defensive line.
Do you think what do you think is a bigger glaring need? Defensive line or interior defensive line or tackle? Offensive tackle.
I think interior defensive line just edges it.
Bro, you just saying this for the argument, bro. You playing right now.
No. Listen, hear me out. If we run out a predominantly 3-4 defensive scheme where we've got no, you can take your head. If we're going to play next season with only one nose tackle, one interior defensive line guy, I would say, do you know what? You've got Zach Sealer and you replace him with Benito Jones and Neville Gallimore. I'll say, cool, do you know what? I don't really need a 4th nose tackle, if that makes sense. If I'm going to run out a 4-3 and I've got 2 defensive tackles, not so much a nose tackle, but 2 defensive tackles, and I've just lost 800 snaps, Benito Jones and Neville Gallimore aren't going to replace those 800 snaps. Now, I understand that Teron Armstead gets injured quite a lot, but I don't need to replace Armstead's snaps or friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson. And whether we like it or not, we've also got Liam Eichenberg that can play tackle. We've also got Kean Smith and Kendall Long. Now, again, we as fans might not like it, but the Dolphins tell us over and over again that we have these options that tackle, blah, blah, blah. Christian Wilkins, whether we like it or not, is a massive miss, and we haven't, as of right now, replaced those snaps yet.
I don't think it's a massive miss, mate. You see what I did there?
I
don't think there's a massive. That's called alliteration. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, listen, I don't think there's a massive miss there, bro. And I think you overdoing it right now. Like a 1st round pick on a D lineman. That's what you think we're gonna do?
What was Chris Greer's first draft pick?
It was Christian Wilkins, but a 1st round, bro. I'm not gonna do this with you right now.
Okay, no.
Our first round pick will not be an interior defense.
Listen, we're in 2024, yeah, and Christian Wilkins as his first I am in charge. What I say goes. 2019, yeah. In those essentially 4 to 5 years, how many 1st round picks has he spent on the defensive line?
That was because the team was 5 years away from even talking about a Super Bowl. So you had to start from scratch. You had to build from the foundation. This team is 2 wins away from a Super Bowl right now, Kadeem. We're only Kadeem. We went Christian Wilkins because you had to build from scratch. You had to start from the foundation. You didn't have anybody on your team, and he was the first person.
But the question I asked was, in the 5 years that Chris Greer has been in charge, how many times has he used a 1st round pick on defensive line?
Once. Oh, wait. Twice.
3 times.
Who?
Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips.
Yep.
Then the podcast Bradley Chubb because the 1st round pick.
So see, he didn't draft Bradley Chubb. See, I see what you did with the words. How many did he use a 1st round pick on?
Yeah.
So he used a 1st round pick to acquire Bradley Chubb. I understand what you're saying, but it's built, Kadeem. The foundation is built.
Okay,
like we're here now.
So he's lost one of his foundation pieces. Do you not think he would be tempted to go, hey, do you know what? I need to get that back.
But that's my point. That's my point. The foundation piece was replaced by Zach Sealer, in my opinion. That's why I said we don't need a replacement. Hold up. You said we're talking about your foundational pieces that Chris Greer had put in place. So in my opinion, Zach Sealer replaces that. We need a replacement for Zach Sealer. That's all I'm saying.
But that's still 800 snaps. You've lost 800 snaps.
It's 800 snaps, but it's not 800 snaps of a top 10 D lineman.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Zach
Christian Wilkins
Sealer is already replacing that. We're replacing Zach Sealer, not Christian Wilkins. Because one can argue Zach Sealer is better than Christian Wilkins.
Okay, so what in Christian Wilkins? What do you think the Dolphins have lost,
bro?
No. I'm not going to catch you out.
I do not believe the Dolphins lost some foundational piece in the middle of the D line where teams are like, "Yo, we're glad the Dolphins are missing Christian Wilkins. We're gonna run the ball on them." Because newsflash, we ain't had the best run stopping defense in ever.
Do you remember that time when Christian Wilkins went out and everyone around the Dolphins was like, "Hey, do you know what? That Christian Wilkins guy's pretty important." And then Christian, I'll go back and
actually
find it.
I do remember.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was only once. That was a long time ago.
And then do you remember when in the offseason everyone was like, "Hey, Christian Wilkins better find some sacks if he wants to get paid." And Christian Wilkins found those snaps. Now, what I will say is that no one is really sitting and going, "I'm really like no one is losing sleep over the Dolphins losing Christian Wilkins." But at the same time, that front four of Phillips, Sealer, Wilkins, and Chubb, they were pretty good at doing their job. And what I'm saying is, okay, Christian Wilkins might not have been the Aaron Donald of that defensive line, but you still got to find someone to partner Zach Sealer. You got to get that salt and pepper partnership back at some point. And you've also got Chubb and Phillips coming off injuries, major injuries. So that's why
this is what I'm saying though. You trying to replace. I'm talking about forever. I'm talking about the direction of the franchise. You're talking about just this season. Bro, they're coming back. But this look, this is what I'm saying. If you draft a interior D lineman this season, so that you're telling everybody, like, yo, this is that important. I don't believe it's that. I think it's important, but I don't think it's what you said, glaring hole or glaring need or whatever. So, in my opinion, how about this for an analogy? If I need a car, all right, and I have a car, and I got into like a fender bender. The car is not totaled. It's a fender bender. It's going to be out for like 2 weeks while it gets done, painted up in the shop and fixed up in the shop. I'm not going to go spend $30,000 on another car. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go spend a couple quid, as they say across the pond. You feel me? Like, and maybe, I don't even spend it on the car. I spend it on a rental. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing here. Just because I lost Christian Wilkins don't mean I need to spend X amount of dollars on this D lineman, because I do have Zach Sealer, but he does need to be replaced. I'm just saying how much we put to this one position can set you back in other positions if you're going to spend a first round pick on an interior defense alignment when there's starting tackles and centers and receivers. And if Brock Bowers falls, if we go D lineman, Charlie Touche is not going to be happy.
I understand that. I just think you know what? Do you remember how we were convinced the Dolphins were taking the tight end in the draft last year? We were like, the Dolphins are 100% going to take a tight end in the draft.
Yeah.
And they took a wide receiver, converted the tight end, and we're like, yo, what are you guys doing? And the tight ends that the Dolphins wanted were sitting there. I personally believe that while tight end is, as Mike McDaniel said himself, year 3, I'm going to develop the tight end, I'm going to get all of that. And I understand that. I don't think and again, different coaches, different systems, all that kind of stuff. I don't think Chris Greer as a GM values tight end enough to go first round. Now, obviously, Brock Bowers might be that difference maker, but I just think even if it's not glaring holes, and obviously you can say that you get a tight end in Brock Bowers and you kind of got your wide receiver 3, and to be fair, you might get a Odell Beckham, so all that kind of stuff. I just think the impact a rookie tight end has across the league, I don't think the Dolphins are going to go, do you know what? We need a tight end at pick 21 to fully take us over the end by the time he fully develops. I think there's other positions, namely both interior on defense and offensive line, the Dolphins can get in round 1 and will make an immediate impact from day 1. I think tight end, even Brock Bowers, will take some time to get up to speed, and his impact will be 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think the Dolphins can quite afford to wait 3, 4, 5. If that makes sense.
I disagree, Kadeem. When Mike McDaniel came in, head coach, play caller, we went from never having, having a top 10 offense since like 1995 to having a top 10 offense in his first year. You remember that?
Yep.
I understand what the numbers say about, or what the analytics say about not a rookie tight end, and they don't really just jump off the page the first season. But I will also present to you Exhibit A. Sam Laporta from Detroit Lions went first round last year and was, in my opinion, the best tight end in the league last year. Better than Kelsey, better than Mark Andrews, better than everybody else that you want to present. Laporta was the best tight end in the league, and he was a rookie.
And what round did he go in?
The first.
Nope. Second round.
Oh, second round. All right. I thought it was the first round pick, but
Nope.
I guess they went linebacker and running back. But I'm just saying. So, but no, that was the round wasn't the what was the topic of the conversation. The rookie tight end was the topic of conversation. We didn't say first round tight ends don't pan out first year. You were saying tight ends take longer to develop in their first year, which is true, but it's not.
Which is why you don't take one in the first round. You take one later on.
But I just presented that the best tight end in the league last year was a rookie.
And what round did he go in?
But he's a rookie though? It doesn't matter what round he went in. He's a rookie.
But the point I was making, that in my first round, I'm not going tight end.
But why though? Why not? Is what I'm saying.
I just told you, because they take longer to develop.
But apparently it doesn't, because Laporta was the best tight end in the league last year.
And what round did he go in? Like, we're going to go in circles.
He was a rookie though. But like,
he went in the second round.
You said, well, you said they take longer. But you said rookie tight ends take longer to develop. And I'm presenting you a rookie tight end. But you keep saying what round he went in, but it doesn't matter because he was a rookie.
I can take a rookie. I can take a tight end in the second round, and he's going to be fine. Because your argument is that you can take one whenever, to a certain degree.
I did not say you could take one whenever. I'm just saying if you take a tight end, that there's a chance he pans out. Like, there's a chance anybody pans out. There's a chance anybody busts. But I'm just saying I'm not staying away from tight end because I'm afraid that he's not going to develop as soon as we need him to. That can't be in the mindset of, I hope this guy pans out. I'm spending a first round pick on him.
But the thing is, the Lions also had 2 other picks before they got to Sam Laporta. So the Lions had to take two picks.
Yeah, two. They went linebacker and running back.
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs and I just forgot his name, Jack Campbell. And so I'm saying is that the Dolphins have bigger priorities than tight end. Tight end is a priority, but they have bigger priorities. So if I've got a pick at pick 21 and a pick at pick 55, tight end isn't the pick at pick 21. I have other priorities. And like,
we have listen. I'm all for prioritizing your priorities. I'm big on that. Prioritize your priorities. But when you're presented with information that you did not think would be there, you have to adjust. And if the best tight end, this dude is how about this? Let's do this, Kadeem. I'm put you on the spot. Can you pull this up? Can you pull up NFL big board, please? Like pull up. We're gonna pull up 3. Hold on. We're gonna pull up 3 different big boards for the draft coming up this year. So I don't care where you find them. Just pull up 3 big boards.
No, let's like of the 3 big boards. Let's find reputable sites, not no random thing. So like,
all right, cool. We could put a name on it. Now I'm not saying don't put a name on it, but go to these sites. Tell us where you got these big boards from, and then we're gonna find out where Brock Bowers is on these 3 big boards. I believe he's going to be in the top 10 in every single big board that you look up. So they got, like you said, they got to be credible. PFF, we could throw that out there. CBS, the Draft Network, however, wherever you want to find these big boards. Let's see where Brock Bowers is.
PFF. I'm doing this on the wrong computer. I'm going to do it on this one, so there's no messing around. So NFL big board, and I'm glad you said top 10 because I have a rebuttal for that already. So The first one is we'll go PFF first. And my computer wants to be quick, and I have a feeling. No, one of my favorite things about this podcast is Charlie.
What you got?
We knew we'll say we'll talk about this, and we'll maybe get to this, and then half an hour later, we'll be having a deep conversation about something we had no plan. Like tight end, and this wasn't part of the conversation. This genuinely wasn't. It's why this is your favorite podcast. It's why, if you haven't already, subscribe on YouTube, all the good stuff. Right, hold on. Right, I'm not going to cheat. I am on PFF's big board. No, that's not in. Oh God, present, share screen, PFF. Let's get rid of the branding. You can hear me talk through this. So, Caleb Williams. If you listen on audio, I'll run through it quickly. PFF big board. Caleb Williams number 1, Marvin Harrison Jr. number 2, Drake May number 3, Malik Nabers number 4, Joe Alt number 5, Rome Adunes number 6, Brock Bowers number 7. So you got Brock Bowers number 7 on PFF big board. I am now going to hold on. Share this tab instead. I am going to NFL.com. Daniel Jeremiah worked for the Chargers, a reputable name in the NFL scouting. What do you call it? World.
Circles.
Yeah. So we have this video, which I want to get rid of because I'm not trying to get demonetized. Caleb Williams number 1, Marvin Harrison Jr. number 2, Rome Adunes number 3, Malik Nabers number 4, Drake May number 5, Jaden Daniels number 6, Brock Bowers number 7. So that's 2 top 7. And to be fair, it doesn't matter where he falls on this final board because he is already clearly a top 10 prospect in the draft. But just to round it out, ESPN have interesting Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1, Caleb Williams number 2, and they have Brock Bowers number 10. So it seems he may have slid down 1 to 10. He's probably 9 or something. But either way, Brock Bowers across 3 different websites is a top 10 prospect in the draft. Charlie, what do you say to that?
I mean, I'm no I told you so guy, but I'm just saying, bro, if Brock Bowers falls to 21, Kadeem, he's a top 10 prospect. Top 10. And then you can remove 3 of the quarterbacks because Caleb Williams is probably the only quarterback you can trust in this draft. And all these other quarterbacks that make like the top 50 big board draft, bro, they put quarterbacks in there. I.e., the Kenny Pickett draft. Who else was drafted with Kenny Pickett? What are them quarterbacks? Kenny Pickett. You can't even remember these boys. Like that was the Brock Purdy draft, and Brock Purdy ended up being the best quarterback pick last in the draft. And bruh, it's crazy the Kenny Pickett draft. I'll try to find it. But listen, this to me is one of those drafts where there's only one quarterback that's going to be successful, and you might have Michael Penix Jr. make a claim for having his name in the news for good things. So all that being said, tight end falls to 21. You have a top 10 prospect, one of those learn me Tunsil things where we're not supposed to have this guy, but because 5 quarterbacks went in front of him, and this is a deep line O-line draft, we have been presented with a tight end that we didn't think we would get for years. You have to do it. Like, I'm not replacing Christian Wilkins. No, yes, you do, bro. I'm not getting an interior D lineman that could be replaced in the 4th round. I'm going Brock Bowers, bro.
Dude,
I'm going Brock Bowers.
If we're replacing Zach Steeler, you're not replacing Zach Steeler in the 4th round. Like, let's be honest. Like,
hold on. Where does Zach Steeler get drafted?
Let's have a look. Keep on time.
I believe he was undrafted, Kadeem.
He might have been, yeah.
That's my point. My point is you can find players for interior defensive line.
Where was George Kittle drafted?
2nd round.
Let's have a quick look. George Kittle was drafted. Do not want George Foreman. George Kittle was drafted. Sorry, say second round.
Yeah.
Dude, George Kittle drafted in the 5th round.
Okay. Hey, I just threw a guess out there, bro.
Yeah, you feel again.
yo.
Listen, and again, listen. I totally understand what you're saying. If a prospect, the type of, and again, me and Lee had this conversation earlier because he was just like the hype around, and again, Kyle Pitts going to the Falcons was just really unfortunate for him. Was honestly unfortunate for him. And we'll never know if George Kittle. I forgot to do his name already. That's how unforgettable he's
Brock
been.
Bowers, bro.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Kyle Pitts. I'm talking about
Oh.
Kyle Pitts and all the hype and all that kind of stuff. Goes top 10 to the Falcons. And again, it's a Falcons. It's unfortunate. You would like to think if the Dolphins draft Brock Bowers, he's gonna have a bigger impact than Kyle Pitts. And to be fair, it wouldn't be difficult. The only point I'm making is me personally, before I get to tight end in the first round, I'm looking at 2 positions at the very least, and then if anything, I'm trading back. That's just me personally. And if Brock Bowers goes under,
so you telling me? I just want to be clear, real quick. This is just like one word answer or couple words. Just real quick. Do you believe if the Dolphins drafted Brock Bowers, he would have a season resembling more like Laporta's season last year or Kyle Pitts' season as a rookie? If the Dolphins drafted Brock Bowers,
more
do you think
resembling Sam Laporta.
All right, cool. That being said, you will still trade back if Brock Bowers fell to you?
Yes.
All right.
Because again, and again,
it's your opinion.
No.
It's your opinion.
Let me finish. Genuinely, who was Jared Goff throwing to last year?
What you mean? One of the best receivers in the league.
Who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And who else?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
A running back. Cool. Fair enough. And no. I asked who he's throwing to, and you said Amon-Ra St. Brown first, and then Jahmyr Gibbs second. And obviously Sam Laporta.
But I thought you meant outside of Laporta.
Like, no, I was, yeah, and I genuinely was. Of the option of the names, I'm gonna say now. Tell me where you will put Amon-Ra St. Brown in terms of the rankings. Yeah, I'm gonna say some names. Tell me to stop. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. And that's it.
Hold on.
That's the thing. Jared Goff didn't have Tyreek.
I didn't understand. Hold on. I didn't understand the exercise. So what were you trying to say? Okay. Where does Amon-Ra St. Brown fit in with the Dolphins? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
He's better than Jalen Waddle, bro. Amon-Ra St. Brown is better than Jalen Waddle.
Cool.
Hey, but hold up. But now don't make me do that. Don't make me put it out there. And hold on. Don't make me put it out there. No, bro. Don't make me put it out there and then not say, yo, Jalen Waddle's still a top 10 receiver, though. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had a top 10 receiver in the NFL conversation, Tyreek Hill's gonna be there. Justin Jefferson's gonna be there. Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna be there. Jalen Waddle's gonna be there. It's not like I'm saying Jalen Waddle's not top 10. Like, yo, it's close, but you gotta put some respect on the sun god.
Listen, I'm in no way saying that Amon-Ra St. Brown is a bad receiver. I am not saying that. Personally, I think Waddle's better than him. And I'm not saying this like he's like Waddle's 5 and St. Brown is like 15. I'm in no way saying that. The point I'm making overall is that I don't think that, and again, this has nothing to do with Brock Bowers as a prospect, as a player, or anything like that. I just think the number 3 receiver for the Dolphins or for any team isn't getting that many targets because they're the number 3 receiver. Now, when you got a bunch of trash guys, the number 3 is probably going to get quite a few receptions and targets because you're
bro. You just alluded to Amon-Ra being trash, bro.
No, I did not say that. If you let the plane land before unbuckling your belt and trying to get up and jump out of the plane and they're falling into water, maybe we could all survive. Okay, I am in no way saying that Amon-Ra St. Brown is trash. I'm saying if you have the riches that the Dolphins have in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, the number three receiver, regardless of who it is, isn't going to get that many targets because you got Hill and Waddle. Now, yes, if they're out, then the number three becomes even more important. But I'm saying if everyone's healthy and you've got Hill and Waddle and just those two alone,
I disagree. I believe no one's getting jiggy enough to earn the targets. And I think if you had a viable third option, you think OBJ's not going to come in here and get targets? Yeah. So I think you can only target the people who you can target. Like, I don't think it's by design that we're not targeting everybody else. I think it's because we don't have the resources.
I think it's the paper planes game and Tyreek Hill isn't playing, and you got Waddle and everyone else. Yo, Waddle got targeted like he's Tyreek Hill. I think, be it the system or Tua in general.
Point. That's my. I think you're proving my point right now.
Again, the plane's still flying. Like, the seatbelt sign is still connected. It's clear that, again, be it by system design or quarterback design, he has one clear target, be it Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. What's that face for?
Is the seatbelt sign still on? Can I get up and talk now?
Turbulence has stopped. You can get up and go for a walk,
bro. You said by system design or quarterback design. Why can't it be by lack of options? Like the third thing there, like, all right, maybe it's the quarterback who likes to go to these targets, or maybe it's the system that says you got to go to these targets. But why can't it be, our third option is not that nice, so only go to the first two? That's what all I'm saying is if you have better options.
That's why the seatbelt sign.
Now the seatbelt sign was on. Now that makes sense.
No. It's because it doesn't make sense. When Hill and Waddle are both on the field, it's those two and it's no one else. When it was just Waddle on the field,
but why, Kadeem? But why?
Let me finish. When it was just Waddle on the field, it wasn't Waddle and someone else. It was just Waddle.
Why?
Because no one else matters.
Why?
And then let me finish. When Hill and Waddle were on the field, no one mattered. The Dolphins can't do anything.
Why, Kadeem?
Cedric Wilson is a number 2 at best, yeah, but couldn't get jiggy. Brock Bowers isn't coming to the league and getting jiggy next year. He's just
we don't know that. We don't know that. Look at Laporta. That's my point. My point is, look at Laporta. All I'm saying is the Dolphins do not have a good enough, with all due respect to Durham Smythe, Braxton Berrios, our dog Cray Craft 400. You know what I'm saying? Eric Ezukama, shout out. You know what I'm saying? All of these boys, you know what I'm saying? They're not viable third options. That's all I'm saying. And the proof is in the pudding.
And now,
so I believe
those names.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
As a rookie.
Hey, remember I said this. Clip it. And let's go.
I'm saying that. At this point, I want and again, I don't want Brock Bowers to come to the Dolphins and fail. I honestly don't want that. I seriously don't want that. If Brock Bowers comes to the Dolphins and doesn't put up Sam Laporta numbers with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle,
why they got to be Sam Laporta numbers? Why can't they be close to Sam Laporta numbers? Is what I'm saying. Because if they're close to Sam Laporta numbers, that means if there was no Tyreek and no Waddle, then he would have Sam Laporta numbers. My point is, we don't need him to have Sam Laporta numbers. We just need him to be closer to Sam Laporta than he was to Kyle Pitts with this system, and I believe he could do that. That's what you call a viable third option.
So
I'm trading up to get Laporta if he's in the neighborhood. I'm trading up to get him.
Sam Laporta had 86 receptions,
that's a lot.
889 yards.
That's great,
and 10 touchdowns.
That's awesome. That's a rookie right there, bro. That's you're in the rookie of the year conversation right there.
And you genuinely think that the Dolphins have 86 receptions, 889 yards?
I didn't say that, Kadeem. I just said if you were so worried you couldn't just hold your water before the lane planted, don't get up while all the good stuff. Listen, I said I just need him to be closer to Laporta than closer to Pitts. I don't need him to have 89 targets or 89. I don't need him to be. All right, I'm gonna get there. I don't need him to have 90 receptions, 900 yards. I need him to have 60 receptions, 600 yards.
Let's have a look. Again, I don't know. Probably ESPN. I'm genuinely trying to see if any Dolphins has got close to that.
No, we could go to Durham Smythe was the third leading receiver on the team. Let's just go to Durham Smythe's stat, and I think he had like 38 receptions. I think 38 receptions, like 300 yards. Off the top of my head, Durham Smythe stats
Don't
last
forget
year.
that. Don't forget the drop last year. Yeah, 35 receptions, 366 yards.
Am I tripping?
Oh no, you're not tripping.
All right. So if Sam Laporta comes in and has double that, basically, I just need him to have. If
Bowers.
Yeah, my bad. Brock Bowers comes in, he'll double those Durham Smythe numbers as a rookie.
It's going to be very interesting to see. Okay, so the final question then, genuinely, how far do you think? Two questions. How far do you think Brock Bowers falls, and how far would you want him to fall before you trade up for him? Bearing in mind, the Dolphins don't have that many draft picks this year.
I'm well aware of the Dolphins' needs, draft picks, and Super Bowl window. Can you give me the? You know what? Let me pull it up on Tankathon. See where everybody's at.
I can probably tell you off the top of my head.
Oh yeah.
I've got Tankathon open. So what do you want to know?
I just need to see the draft order. To answer your question accurately, who? Yeah, go ahead. Can we pull up on the screen?
Tankathon. Can't spell. Tankathon NFL draft order. Let's speed this up. I've got too many tabs open because I'm looking at how many centers I've got in the first round of the past 10 years. Tankathon draft order. Share this tab instead and then add to stage and get rid.
All right. So if you're an audio listener, Chicago picks first, Washington, New England, Arizona, Chargers, Giants, Tennessee, Atlanta, Chicago, and Jets round out the top 10. Ooh, I could see I could see Brock Bowers going to the Jets at 10, but they need O-line. They need O-line.
I'm so glad you said that because this mock draft, I saw it earlier. He got number 10, Charlie, on this mock draft.
Dang. So we're on Tankathon, and Kadeem had up the draft order, and I just mentioned what the draft order was, and then I said I could see Brock Bowers going to the Jets at 10. So then Kadeem clicked the mock draft on Tankathon, and turns out they have him Brock Bowers going to the Jets at 10. So,
and also very quickly, what does his stats? What are his projected stats at the paper planes in his
56 receptions, 700 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. And what did I say? All we needed was 60 receptions, 600 yards. I'm just saying, Kadeem, we on to something here. Where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. How come, Kadeem, when I was wrong in the past like 3 episodes, I'd be like, oh, you know what, Kadeem, you're right. Why can't you just be like, all right, Charlie, you might be on to something here?
I have a correction to make after, but I'll let you finish this and then I'll go.
All right. So back to Kadeem's original question. Where do I think he goes? Where do I think Brock Bowers goes? And where would I be willing to trade up to go get him? I don't know that the Jets are so comfortable with O-line. Now, hold up. The Jets, the paper planes. Where do the paper planes pick in the second round? Because this might be telling. If they pick high second round, where they can come back and go O-line in the second round, then I could see them going Brock Bowers in the first round. And then that would not be good.
Pick up Morgan Moses, and I feel like they picked up someone else as well. I can't remember who it was.
Do they have 2 first-round picks? Didn't they get like a pick from Green Bay or something? What's going on there?
No, they've definitely only got the 1 first-round pick.
What do they pick in the second round?
Second round, they pick. I'm still scrolling through.
All right, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. So here's the thing. Let's do it this way. Washington, New England, Arizona, not going Brock Bowers.
Pick.
Say what?
They don't have a second round pick. Their second round pick is with the
paper planes.
I think
paper planes don't have a second round pick, so you could see them going O-line. I could see them going Brock Bowers too at 10. All right. Top 5, Brock Bowers not going top 5. You got the Chargers round out top 5. Then you have the Giants, Tennessee, Atlanta. Atlanta's not going tight end. Giants, Tennessee, both could. I don't know if these GMs are so secured in their jobs at the Giants in Tennessee that they'll be like, oh, I like Brock Bowers, let's go there. It can happen. I don't see it happen. What's the mock draft say for Tennessee and Atlanta? Oh, Tennessee and the Giants. Who they have them taken? Mock draft has O lineman going to Tennessee, a tackle, and quarterback going to the Giants. All right, so let's go back to this. We can use this too. So Brock Bowers makes it past 6 and 7. This is all pending no trades at all. He won't go to Atlanta at 8. I could see Brock Bowers going to Chicago with their second pick at 9. So now you have Caleb Williams go first overall. They have Keenan Allen. They have DJ Moore. They have DeAndre Swift. I think they kind of who?
Darnell Mooney.
Nah, Darnell Mooney went somewhere else. But they also have a tight end, Cole. I think his name Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet, yeah.
They got Cole Kmet, but Brock Bowers twice as good as Cole Kmet. That's all of a sudden you got a defense. I mean, you got offense now. You got one of the best offenses on paper in the league if you did that for your rookie quarterback. Something that the Dolphins did not do was have amass a bunch of weapons for their rookie quarterback, and Chicago would have done that better than probably anybody that I've seen in recent years. But not likely. So Brock Bowers makes it past Chicago at 9, makes it past New York at 10. Minnesota has Hockenson. That's right? Yeah, they have Hockenson. So it's not going to be all right. So we got Denver at 12. Now we have entered the Brock Bowers watch. And this could have been a whole episode of one of our mock draft episodes, Kadeem. Brock Bowers watch begins at pick number 12, and that's where the fall happens. From Denver, Vegas, New Orleans, Indianapolis, all 5 of them could go Brock Bowers. Seattle, Jacksonville. Mike Gesicki went to Cincinnati. All right. So to answer your question, Brock Bowers is going to go anywhere between 12 and 16. That's where Brock Bowers is getting drafted. Once Brock Bowers clears 16, Kadeem, the Miami Dolphins need to be on the phone with Jacksonville, Cincinnati, the Rams, and Pittsburgh. Well, he won't go to Pittsburgh, but he's not going past the Rams at 19. But I believe he goes from 12 to 16. We could clip that too. He's going to, like, if there's a prop bet, I'm taking it.
For your hope, I really hope you take it and it happens. Before we get into bonus time, I do owe you an apology. I got myself into such a tizzy, such a headspace loss. That you are right. The reason the Dolphins' third option couldn't get open because they weren't good enough. I was incorrect in that. What I was saying, I messed up. I'm open enough to say I messed up. That's my fault. I was arguing myself at that point. That being said, you also said that wide receiver class is deep. Even with all you said and Brock Bowers, I still think the Dolphins will go, do you know what? If we can shore up the offensive line and get wide receiver in the second round, I think they go. I can understand doing both things, going tight end and offensive line, or going offensive line and wide receiver. I understand all of that. I still think the Dolphins go, we just need some extra picks. I still think that at 21, they trade back before they trade up. But like you said, once the chips start falling, once guys start getting traded, who knows? Listen, all these mock drafts are brilliant because they're mocks. The mock drafts go out the window normally at the second pick because someone does something really stupid and you go at that point, who knows? I think we discussed this on Patreon. The Chargers messed around and take a quarterback at pick 5. And listen,
that is music to my ears, bro. Like, that is orgasmic, bro. If the Chargers take a quarterback and move on from Herbert and trade Herbert to like the Giants, bro. Bro, my offseason will be so much fun, bro. Just talking about how Herbert got traded. But We're about to get into bonus time, yeah? Kadeem?
Yep.
Happy Resurrection Sunday. I hope y'all enjoyed. Full disclaimer, Charlie Touche does not believe in a sun god. That is Amon-Ra St. Brown's nickname. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed Resurrection Day. I could say a whole bunch of things about what I do believe in, but y'all could just check me out on social media and find that out. Shout out to everyone who enjoyed. Shout out to Kadeem Simmons. I'm Charlie Touche. Stay positive, test negative. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So part of the main episode we're going to be talking about this, but we got into Titan discussion, which just went way past what I thought it was going to be. The past week or so, and again, Twitter's not a real place. Like Twitter at the moment is just for Dolphins fans, it's beyond a joke. Like we're not being serious. But the thing at the moment is Tua playing golf. I think at this point he's not even playing golf. I think people have found the same photo or clip of Tua playing golf and just going, oh, look, he's not working out. He's not taking his craft seriously. And there's a video of Justin Fields or like improving throwing the screen pass. And everyone's going, see, the Dolphins should have picked up Justin Fields because he's working his game. Look at him learn how to throw a screen, blah, blah. First things first, yeah. Remember last year when Nick Hicks and Tua was putting all those videos out? If he needs to work out in the offseason, then what's the point? He's still not good enough, blah, blah. And when it was, he learned how to fall. If he learned how to fall, then he could not be a quarterback. We are, again, at that stage where no matter what Tua does, it's not good enough. He posts workout videos. He's trying too hard, work out in silence. He posts himself playing golf. He's not working hard enough, go play golf full time. I'm not going to ask you what you think about this, but I'm going to ask you what you think about this. I know what your response is going to be. Charlie, what do you think? What is your opinion on the Tua Tagovailoa workout videos or lack thereof on April 1st, 2024?
Bro, nothing this man does is gonna be good enough for anybody, bro. It's just not. You know what? I was gonna save this for another episode when we got like a different guest on or something, but I'll just say it now. I am not home. I'm not in Florida. I'm not in the place where I usually am when we record podcasts. Anyone who follows us on YouTube, they can see my location keep changing in the background. So I'm not home. I am in a location where the fans of the teams are the fans of teams are. I'm in a location where there are fans of these teams: the Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody I tell, oh, I'm from Miami. When we have the football conversation, Kadeem, Tua never comes up until I bring it up, right? And I'll ask, hey, how you feel about Tua? And everyone says, including Kansas City Chiefs fans. I'll tell you what everybody else says before the Kansas City Chiefs fans. Everyone says, oh yeah, I'll take him. I need that. Like, give me Tua. Like, of course I'll take Tua. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this a trick question type stuff? Like, I'm like, dang, Tua's received really well outside of Florida. And when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs fans, clearly they don't need Tua, but they're like, yeah, he's a dude. Like, he's gonna be a problem. And I hate when we got to play, like we played Germany. Y'all played in Germany. Like, I knew the game wasn't over, although it looked like a blowout. So the respect is on Tua's name outside of the Dolphins community. It's like, I don't know how that works, but it just is. All that being said, Kadeem, I remember, and I don't want to put nobody's name on this, but this person was, I seen Albert Wilson. Remember Albert Wilson?
Yeah.
Albert Wilson Jr., I think it is now. Albert Wilson. So anyway, when Albert Wilson was on the Miami Dolphins, I seen him on a skateboard, and it was, and it was that was it. We just, you know what I'm saying? And there was a picture of Tua in like the grocery store, right? Like someone found Tua in like a Publix. Shout out to Publix. Everybody know how important Publix is to South Florida. And Tua just, threw up the deuce. You probably don't see him in Publix no more. He probably can't do it because he don't have a regular life, right? And I think there was another player that was driving, like someone who like drove by or something. And it was just, you encounter some people. And a lot of people say, like, oh, you need to be practicing right now. Like, bro, wait, what's wrong with y'all boys? Like, you think these boys are practicing 24/7 like out of the week? Like, yo, wake up, I gotta practice. I don't have time for the family. I don't have time for what I need to do to become a better human. I don't have time to read books. I don't have time to do my little hobbies that I want to do to be sane. You know what I'm saying? They have to be gladiators with a sword, just in the gym, getting super swole and practicing their craft 24/7. Like, come on, man. That's not even healthy, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So if my dog want to golf, I need my dog to do whatever he want to do to be what he needs to be for the Miami Dolphins. If that's his mental health break to go golfing, because I'm telling you, Kadeem, when I be going to the range, I like it, bro. I'll be like, man, I needed this today. You feel me? Whether it's the golf range, the gun range, or fishing, you know what I'm saying? Like, soon it's gonna be, hey, why the dude always fishing? Like, he need to be in the on at the training facility learning new plays or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it is stupidity when people say stuff like that. And then what you said, when they were showing videos, it was, oh, well, why are you putting all these videos out? Why can't you just do it, like you said, in silence, so you don't have to show everybody? So when there's no videos, it's, oh, Tua's not doing nothing. He's not getting better. Like, bro, there's no winning, bro. There's no W. At the end of the day, when Tua is playing for the Miami Dolphins, we are a good team, a very good team. When Tua does not play for the Miami Dolphins, we are a poor team, a very poor team. And that is simple. That is it.
It's very quickly. And again, Tyreek Hill is a different beast. Like, he's probably, if not one of the best wide receivers in the league. There's no doubt about that. But how often that guy plays Fortnite during the season as well. Not even the off season. During the season, you will catch that guy in his bedroom playing Fortnite. No one says a single word. Tua can't spend the off season playing a different sport. Yes.
Could Tyreek Hill was on Hard Knocks and looked like to have a severe injury to his hand. And during the game that he injured his hand, you seen him have an epiphany, like, yo, I ain't gonna be able to play Fortnite while the game is still on. He's in an NFL football game, and he came to the realization that he won't be able to play Fortnite. Let that happen to Tua. Dang, I ain't gonna be able to golf. They would have caught that on camera. Like, everybody, he's not, his head's not in the right place. He's thinking about golf, and he's at a football game. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's funny to me. It's laughable now. It's all just laughable. No more defending stuff. It's like, yo, my quarterback is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's a top 5 quarterback. And the quarterback rankings are going to come out this offseason, but I'm not concerned about nobody no more. Talking about Tua, at least.